What up? So backing into the NBA, we already know that training camp is already starting as of tomorrow. Then we got around 2 to 3 more weeks, and basically the 2021 season is already going to kick off right before Christmas. So time's been flying really quickly. The NBA and the board of directors and governors with Adam Silver and the crew, they've been getting everything passed off pretty quickly here. So that leaves pretty much veterans like LeBron James not that much time to have any rest. And as pretty much training camp is coming across, team rosters are pretty much around 95% done with. There's around 1 to 2 roster spots that, some people will get waived or, non-guaranteed contracts, yada, yada. Topic for discussion for today, MVP for the 2021 NBA season. Now, I've stated in a couple of my videos that I kind of foresee the top three to be Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, and Steph Curry. Ever since Klay Thompson has finally been hurt, ever since from my last video, I'm going to have to take Steph Curry out of that discussion. Most people think it would be the opposite to actually enhance him. But we've already seen Steph Curry play alongside with D'Angelo Russell and Draymond Green last season without Klay Thompson. And they were a mess out there. They really missed his perimeter defense, let alone, he's around the top three best shooters of all time with him and Steph Curry. So that's something that really pushed the Warriors down. And that's what made Draymond and Steph Curry pretty much want to sit out more games, etc., etc. So with Steph Curry, I don't trust too much that he'll be an MVP type player. I do understand that you have Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre who are going to be your 2 and 3. And you do have James Wiseman as your 5. So the Warriors, I still expect them to make the playoffs. I think they'll be around the 5th through the 8th seed, somewhere in that mix. But when it comes to MVP, you're usually going to have to be a top 2, top 3 seed in the West or East. Now, there was a one-time scenario when Russell Westbrook in 2017, he was a 6th seed and he won MVP. That's that's a rare case. He had the storyline, he got a triple-double, let it be. But coming into the 2021 season, I expect Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. I think they'll probably finish around the top 4, top 5 seed. And since he's younger and he's going to have an excellent season, that pretty much is going to propel him, his case to be even heavier out there. In the Eastern Conference, I think Kevin Durant, I know he's coming off a major injury. I think a lot of people they're pushing too hard on that to where he's not going to be the same. He's not going to be good. He's not going to be an all-star. Kind of like Max Kellerman type status. I'm not about that. I actually think with Kevin Durant's game, it's more craftier. He pretty much has to pull up. He doesn't have to use his athleticism as much. And having an extra around 6 to 7 months, even extra, being rested, I expect Kevin Durant, he'll be in the top 3 for MVP race. So right now you're kind of looking at a legitimate Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant. You can still throw LeBron James out there, but he's in the game right now of his career to where he just wants to win championships, and he's going to pace himself and let Anthony Davis go to work. Some people have thrown out Jason Tatum. I doubt that's going to be the case. Jason Tatum can still give you a top 2, top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, but I just don't think his consistent dominance will be that effective. I doubt the NBA lets Giannis win 3 in a row. It may come down to it, but I doubt that's the case, man, especially after this horrific playoff series against the Miami Heat. But it's a regular season award, so my top favorites right now are going to be Luka and Kevin Durant. Let's jump into here on ESPN The Jump and see what they got to say, and of course, I'll give my take.
And it's crunch time here on The Jump. Tim Duncan's one-year run as an assistant coach appears to be over. Mark Stein reporting he will step away from his full-time spot on the Spurs staff. Ramona, do you see another coaching role in Timmy's future?
Well, I'm surprised by this. I'm going
to skip to the part where we're going to, but the kind of random news. Tim Duncan, I thought he was actually going to be the new head coach if Popovich was going to retire this season. Pretty much going to have him as an apprentice and pop up. I didn't expect Popovich to let Becky Hammon, even though Popovich is very super wokety woke and liberal. Let's see what happens within there. But I was kind of surprised away from Tim Duncan in that role. Let's jump into what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Well, the players would have to agree to it too, and I don't think any of the players union are super excited about the idea of introducing a bubble again. Maybe for the finals or something, but the Knicks practice facility being closed this week and this Bubbleville stuff, it's a wake-up call. Like, we're back in the real world. This is going to be an issue. It's not going away. In fact, it's getting worse.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see the story we started with at the top of the show, Ramona's story on testing, whether that impacts how leagues are able, and sports and the NBA teams in specific, are able to function just within their small group. Forget fans, but just within the players and the people in the organization. Yeah. And, of course, there's been national news on vaccines that sort of ramped up in the last couple of weeks, so we'll see how that affects the NBA season as well. Bubbleville, though, for the end of this month for college basketball, and we'll see how that goes, too. All right, now that the season is, though, on track to start, you know what that means, my friends. Las Vegas starting to release preseason odds. Caesars William Hill recently released theirs for MVP for the upcoming season. At the moment, the co-favorites are two-time defending MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, as well as...
I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked that Kevin Durant is that low on their list as number 7. I expected Luka Doncic to be number 1. That kind of makes sense. Luka was top 5 this season in 2020 when it came to MVP. At one moment, he was top 3, but he kind of finished around top 5. The Mavericks finished with a 7th seed in the Western Conference. Now, pretty much with the Warriors going down, the Houston Rockets are kind of iffy all in there. The Rockets are out of the picture. And you do have Luka Doncic with another season with experience, and the Mavericks pretty much have players that are 6'4" and above on their team, except for J.J. Barea. I expect the Dallas Mavericks to be a top 4, top 5 seed in the West. Luka Doncic, either if he averages a triple-double, close to it, but he's going to average around 30 points a game. He may win scoring title. He'll definitely be top 3, top 5, but Luka Doncic is going to have one of the seasons for the ages. And I mean, I don't blame him for putting him number 1 as of right now. Giannis at 2. Yeah, I mean, Giannis in the Bucks, they're going to give you a top 1, top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Giannis is more of a regular season type player. Different scouting measures and different teams can't really, stop him in the regular season, nor do they really want to, because in the playoffs, it's a different animal. I mean, you got the Miami Heat, you have the Toronto Raptors, lock him down. I'm not saying teams don't lock him down in the regular season, but Giannis is head over heels when it comes to that. So, but I don't expect the NBA and the league to give him 3 in a row. If it comes down to it, it comes down to it. But they'll find their angle to give it to Luka or LeBron if they're number 2nd in that. They got Anthony Davis number 3. So I was thinking about this, and even though LeBron's the most valuable player on their team, impact player, I mean Anthony Davis does have another case for most valuable, on a different side of things, like on the whole heavy of the offense, defense, getting things going. And with LeBron James, he pretty much has stated this is Anthony Davis's team and franchise running forward into the 2021 season. So we could see somewhat of an approach like the 2012 Miami Heat when Dwayne Wade gave the keys to LeBron James. I'm not going to go that far with LeBron giving to AD like that, but I think he's kind of planting the seed, planting the idea. So with Anthony Davis, I don't know when it comes to injuries, resting, all that, but he'll definitely be top 5. But I would always put LeBron James over him. But let's see how this season plays out. And if LeBron's going to play more of that, point guard responsibility and taking less on the offense. Curry, Kawhi, Durant, Harden. I don't think it's going to Harden because there's too much chaos right now with the Houston Rockets. The media is not going to give it over to Harden. Unless Harden is pretty much going to average 37 a game and the Rockets are top 3 in the West, then yeah, you would give it to him. KD, kind of low on there. Actually, man, if you're Kevin Durant right now, I think this is a legacy move. Not only to win the championship, I don't expect the Nets to win this season in 2021. I think they could probably make the finals. Realistically, they're going to make the conference finals. But Kevin Durant, if you can squeak out one last regular season MVP, which I think is possible, this is the season to do it. This really is. Because the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, you finished 7th seed in the Eastern Conference with Kyrie, and it showed that they had a losing record. They needed KD. So if KD just does his thing, goes 85%, puts up around 27, 8 and 4, something along those lines. Then Kevin Durant's good. Or 27, like 6 and 5, or maybe even going around 30 points a game. And they end up around top 2, top 3 in the East. I mean, Kevin Durant will win MVP. Because the media has been very harsh on him, but he's finally in a new environment with the Brooklyn Nets, which they're a little better on. They're better that he left that super team in Golden State, but if he does his thing, they will give it to him. But Kawhi Leonard, too much load management. I don't see it.
Luka Doncic. They also have Anthony Davis ahead of LeBron, with Steph, Kawhi, KD, and Harden also on the board. Zach, I'm going to be honest, when I started reading out that line and said two-time defending, I was like, wait, Giannis isn't defending anything, but he is for sure defending his 2 MVPs. Ooh. Well, no, I mean, normally we say two-time defending, that means champion, right? So in this case, he is absolutely.
Rachel Nichols loves herself some LeBron James. That's why she had to throw that shade at Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Do you defend an MVP? Do you defend an MVP, Zach? I don't know.
I think you I think you can defend it. Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, like I stated before, he can defend it. His team is going to be top 2 in the Eastern Conference, if anything. No one's going to stop him in the regular season. He's always dominant. He's a superhero pretty much. When he plays in the regular season, that's what kind of blinds everyone, thinking that he's either the best player in the world or top 2 or top 3. That's never been the case. He's always been around 3 to 5. I'm not saying number 3 for sure, but he's in that range. I mean, if you go 3 to 5, that's exactly where he needs to be. The playoffs proves that. I still have LeBron James, the best player in the world. And then in the mix right now, it's scrambly. I mean, you have Kawhi in there, you have KD, you have Steph, you have Giannis. Then you start looking a little further, you have Harden, you got Luka, you got AD. So that's how it's going to go around within there. Giannis does have a great case to where he can defend it. He just has to do his thing. The Bucks brought in Drew Holiday. They're going to be a little bit rejuvenated. I know Giannis right now is in a contract year, and he's looking towards free agency. So expect the media to be on Giannis's you-know-what this whole season. They're playing the same game with with Dwight Howard and with Kevin Durant and some of these other players. When it's a contract year, they're going to throw the media at them, all these narratives. Should he leave? Where should he go? And Giannis is going to see that come down with. So, and especially if he doesn't sign the Supermax, then they're really going to be dogging him. But I don't think too much on that. I think Giannis will not win the MVP this season. The NBA usually goes, if you win 2 in a row, then they usually go a different direction. Not based on, your statistics, how you play, but usually 2 years is the peak for everyone, and then it's off from there. Like LeBron won 2 in a row, then they gave it to Derrick Rose. But since LeBron is, a top 4 player all time, he won 2 more after that. Like Steve Nash, and he won 2 in a row, and then after that, Steph Curry won 2 in a row. So that's going to be kind of the normal gist I see of things. I think there'll be a better case for Luka Doncic, LeBron James, let alone Kevin Durant.
Okay, deal. He's the 2-time defending champion, and is he your early MVP favorite right now, Zach?
No, I'm going to go Luka Doncic. I wanted to go LeBron because I feel like he's come second so many times, but I'm just afraid he's going to load manage a lot of games this year. And by the way, justifiably so. Maybe we shouldn't even knock him any credit for that. But I do feel like, fair or not, and I don't think it's totally unfair, I think voters are going to be very hesitant to award Giannis a 3rd straight MVP, even if he has
Bingo.
the best statistical case because of the 2 straight playoff disappointments. I think there's going to be a widespread hesitancy among the voting body to do that. So I think Luka is the safest choice.
And even though Giannis deserved the regular season MVP in 2020, let me state it again. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the regular season, he deserved the regular season MVP. But after his horrific playoff performance against the Miami Heat, being gentlemen swept, a lot of those same media TV pundits were going out and bashing him, saying LeBron should have won the MVP regular season, social media, Mr. Kendrick Perkins, yada, yada. Same thing with McManaman saying right here, that's going to be the case. They've seen Giannis has won it twice. They're getting bored of that. And Giannis, I don't expect him to put up any better numbers than what he usually does. That's usually going to be around 90-95% of his peak. So they're more likely to give it to a new narrative, to a young Luka Doncic, maybe an older LeBron James, maybe a middle-of-the-pack redemption Kevin Durant. I could see it go either of those ways.
Yeah, Rachel, can I get those odds on Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Is that plus 1,500? I mean,
Yeah, I don't agree with her usually, but man, Kevin Durant at number 7. Guys, I'm telling you, Kevin Durant can easily win the regular season MVP, and this is the best case. Again, this is the first time he's playing with the Brooklyn Nets. They were a 7th seed. They were looking horrific out there, and they all knew that their hope was Kevin Durant. If KD just gives him to a top 3 seed in the East, which is expected, he does his thing, he will win the MVP. Now with Luka, again, if it's against KD and Luka, I think they'll go more the direction of a Kevin Durant, because Luka Doncic, even though he's the new golden boy, he won't have enough wins and playoff seedings, I expect the Mavericks to be 4th or 5th seed. And they'll probably give you, even though it's not 82 games, it's going to be 72. So if it were like 82, the Mavericks will give you like a 51-31 record. If it's a 72 games, then they'll give you like a 45 win team. But with the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are going to be one of the top 3, top 4 teams in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks will not be. I think this will be Kevin Durant's last chance and best chance to win regular season MVP. I kind of see that in the works, though.
I mean, give me that right now. I was going to say Kevin Durant anyway, because I think his storyline coming back from the Achilles injury, starting with the new team in Brooklyn. I like what they have going. I spoke to a couple people who saw him working out recently here in Los Angeles. They said he looked great. If Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant again in the Eastern Conference and the Nets move up in the playoff seedings where he's the guy, I like that pick a lot with those odds. Oh my gosh.
Good eye on that. Overall, the next 2-3 seasons, Kevin Durant, the Nets will win an NBA championship. Let me repeat myself. They will win an NBA championship. I can see them go to around 2 finals. I see them winning 1. But with Kevin Durant, since he's not going to win a championship in 2021, as I foresee not to be, I think the best case scenario for his legacy